Quiet on set, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody.
It's a beautiful sunny day. Everywhere.
Beautiful. Everywhere. Well,
I think everywhere.
most places.
It is here.
Yeah, it is here. Happy Easter, everybody.
And welcome to the Paranormal and Strange Occurrences podcast.
Yes, welcome. And again, if you do want to call in, friend me at friend me on Discord. This looks kind of funny. At anyone for gaming YT, and my number on that is gotta enable. Sorry guys, hold on. I got
a bunch of the ingredients in the refrigerator.
9607. Okay, so okay, well, you know what? People can call in the podcast at 6, well, not 6 p.m. Eastern time, because that was last podcast.
That was last podcast. What time is it now?
It is 2:48. People can call in whenever, because this is unfortunately going to be a little bit of a shorter episode.
Right, this is a shorty.
Yeah, this is a short one. I mean, it's not like 5 minutes, but it's also not 50 minutes, you know. So, welcome everybody. Wow, my text keeps going away. Okay, whatever. Just call us up on Discord if you want to call in. So, it is Easter. We're here with Grandpa. It is the rebirth. I can't see you. It is the rebirth of
The rebirth. Right.
the rebirth of Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
And that raises an interesting question. You know, the rebirth of Christ is a spiritual phenomenon. Is it also paranormal? I mean, if you think about paranormal being extra or outside of the norm, that would certainly be outside of the norm. So I think when we talk about paranormal, spiritual is a subset of that. And there are non-spiritual paranormal, but the rebirth of Christ, or the resurrection of Christ, is definitely a spiritual paranormal.
Definitely.
So like the overarch is paranormal, and then a subset of paranormal is spiritual. And within spiritual is the resurrection of Christ.
That's a good point.
So, you know, the Catholic Church names saints all the time. And the criteria for naming someone a saint is that they are associated with 3 miracles. Well, miracle is paranormal, right? Or, by definition, a miracle is paranormal. So within paranormal, you have spiritual paranormal, and the resurrection of Christ is one element or one event within spiritual paranormal. But I think that when you have people being named saints by virtue of their performing miracles, I think that's also a spiritual paranormal.
Yes.
Go to paranormal, subset spiritual, subset sainthood, subset resurrection.
Yes.
So we're talking about paranormal, so we can talk about paranormal
Well,
non-spiritual, or we can talk about paranormal spiritual.
Yeah, in this episode, the subject of this paranormal is going to be psychics. Psychic experiences, maybe some strange experiences you've had with psychics, something you might have learned that a psychic told you that just blew your brain.
Have you been to a
kind
psychic?
of. No, I have not. but I do want to, and it looks pretty cool.
I saw a sign just within the last couple of days that advertised online tarot card reading. You know, tarot cards, you choose cards out of a deck, and those cards are interpreted to describe the forces that influence your life and your future.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a paranormal.
Just keep going.
So anyone out there in podcast land, have you had an experience with tarot card reading or a seance or someone looking into a globe to determine your future or to predict your future, to discover your future, to portend your future?
Yes. And psychics are a very interesting thing that is, you know, something that does kind of fascinate me. It's just like, you know, were they born with these powers? How did they gain these? You know, I've always, you know, I've been into superheroes, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's another paranormal.
And
that's a whole other subset of.
Yeah, it's kind of like a superhero power.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's psychic superheroes like Doctor Strange or whatever, but, you know.
Well, you know, given that it's Easter, you know, I don't want to get too religious, but there are stories of Jesus walking on water.
Exactly.
That's certainly paranormal.
Certainly. And superheroes are paranormal.
So
if real superheroes are paranormal.
You know, it would probably offend some people to think of Christ as a superhero. But when you think about, you know, can walk on water, can cure leprosy, can, you know, turn fishes into loaves, or fishes and loaves into plenty.
Yeah.
Those are definitely paranormal things.
And
that doesn't happen every day.
Kind of superhero things.
Kind of superhero. So,
you know, if Jesus...
That, you know, it sort of, it kind of cheapens it, it commercializes it to say that Jesus was a superhero.
Yeah.
But if you think about, well, what makes a superhero? Well, special powers.
You think about it, yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, and I don't want to commercialize it. I don't want to equate, you know, Jesus with Batman or, you know, the Hulk or the Iron Man or whatever. But you know, there are some common things. They perform extraordinary things that are paranormal by definition.
Yeah,
Not
that's
normal.
You know, it's really cool. And we do have a chatter here. Their name is The Real Elevator, and they say hello.
Hi.
Hello, The Real Elevator. Nice to meet you. If you would like to call in, I'm pretty sure I have a friended on Discord, so if you would like to call and be on the show, you can. If you have any questions to ask on the show or any you know, psychic stories or any paranormal stories, we'd be glad to have you on the show. And yeah, so as I'm waiting to see if maybe we can get a caller, I'm gonna look up some psychic stories.
Great. Never get tired of those.
Yeah.
P-S-Y.
Oh, right.
S-Y-C-H-I-C.
Okay, psychic stories.
Psych.
Okay, real surreal encounters. Okay, so let's read a few of these. Okay, so we have here. This is by Kim in Melbourne, Florida, USA. Let's see this. A little less than 3 years ago, a boyfriend and I were driving down the road to go to dinner. We approached a red light, and behind us was an ambulance. Lights off, just driving like we were. On this ambulance, the unit number was marked 85, which is the year I was born. I instantly got an eerie feeling. I then looked at my boyfriend and said to him, "We're going to die." He asked me what I was talking about, so I explained that I had just gotten a terrible feeling just from a number marked on ambulance. He told me I was crazy. About 10 minutes later, we were turning left to go into the parking lot of the restaurants, and we were struck by another vehicle. Our vehicle flipped over on its side, and I was trapped inside. None other than unit number 85 arrived on the scene and informed me after they pulled out that if the driver of the vehicle had struck us 5 inches to the left or of where he did, my head would have been crushed and I would have been dead. For years now I've felt that I have some sort of psychic ability, but this one of my psychic stories that came true sticks out the most to me.
Although, she predicted her death, and what she encountered was a near fatal crash.
Mm-hmm.
So her psychic powers indicated peril, but they predicted greater peril than she actually faced. She survived that accident, which is a good thing. So Melbourne,
Yes.
Florida, glad you're still with us.
I'm glad you're still with us, Kim. And, that would give me chills.
Oh, yeah.
Goosebumps as well as pain from the
Well,
crash.
it's pretty remarkable. Some things are just a little, they say it a little too close to home.
Yeah, exactly.
A little too close to true.
Okay, so let's read Surreal Encounters with Psychics. So I'm going to go ahead and read. Do you want to read one?
No, go ahead.
You want me to go ahead? Sure. I'll read Play It Cool. Okay, sorry. A few beepers. People are beeping me. Play It Cool. I went to a palm reader my first month of college with 2 friends. She told me she thought I'd be a journalist, which at the time I thought was a swing and a miss. I had no intention of writing professionally. She also told me that there were 2 men, one who wanted to hold on to me, but I wanted to pull away, and another that I wanted to be closer to. I was still getting calls from a guy I'd dated for like a week at the end of high school, and I had a huge crush on. My best guy friend at college. She told me if I pulled back from that guy and I wanted to play it cool, things would work out. I followed her advice. I had previously confessed my feelings and had a really hard time hiding how emotionally wrecked I was that he didn't reciprocate.
Return the feeling.
Within a few weeks, he was showing interest. We got together that fall and had a very turbulent but personal, formative on and off relationship for the rest of college. Looking back, she was really good at reading me, better than I was, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I wonder if that's psychic or if that's just you kind of get a sense of somebody when they're sitting in front of you. Not like, and like if somebody would sit down with you, they could tell a few things about you pretty quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's read. It's a boy. I've never visited a psychic, but one day I was standing outside a restaurant and a woman came up to me and said I was pregnant with a boy. The very next month I found out I was pregnant. I had a girl, but for the first 3 ultrasounds, I was told I was having a boy. It was eerie.
I'll bet.
That must be crazy.
Wow.
Okay, so now I think we're gonna have a few callers on the show here. Just turn off my phone here. Psychic experiences. Do we have a caller that would like to call psychic experiences? That is psychic experiences. Okay,
We missed a call from Cocoa Puff.
Okay, so psychic experience. So, I will be back. You
Okay.
can just,
Just keep chatting.
viewers.
So, audience, where do you think? Oh, we have an incoming call.
Okay.
Yeah, but not
I just ran up here just in time. Hello. You're on the call.
Hello. Am I calling the psychic Easter line?
Yes.
the Psychic Podcast.
Oh, the podcast. So are people listening to this? Because this is kind of personal.
Millions of people are
Yeah.
listening.
Well, not really.
Millions
Well,
and millions.
maybe they'll be helpful if I tell you what the problem is.
All
I'm
right.
pretty sure we also had on the podcast the last episode
Yes.
as well. So welcome back on the show, by the way, Cocoa Puff.
Oh, thank you. Well, I figured I have a ghost in my radiator, so I just wanted to know if maybe I also have a ghost in my head, and wondering if you can help.
You have a ghost in your radiator.
Well, I had that the last time I called the podcast. My radiator was getting very cold when I walked by
Oh,
it.
that's right. The
Yeah.
house
That
radiator,
yes.
not a car radiator.
That was Cocoa Puff's radiator.
Right.
Now, my psychic question has to do with this like vision I keep having. Do you deal with visions?
Yeah,
My partner here does.
a little bit.
Okay, well, here's what it is. It's not a dream, and it's not like a daydream. It's just that I'll be sitting silently, and I will see this vision of an old lady with kind of long gray hair, sitting in a rocking chair, looking out over the ocean. And I see this. This happens to me probably 2 or 3 times a month. And I just can't figure out what it's all about.
Well, I'm pretty sure you mentioned last episode there was an old lady that was in the house you bought
Who passed away? In that
who
house.
passed away.
I wonder
Yes,
if that,
in my radiator.
Might
could
be that
that
one.
be the same lady?
And maybe she's trying to communicate to you.
But she just rocks. I don't even see her face. I don't know who it is. She's just rocking back and forth, looking out over this great view of the ocean.
Sounds like a pretty relaxing lady.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if she's alive or dead.
Oh, if she's rocking,
If,
that suggests that she's alive.
but if she's, I mean, like if she's a ghost, like if it's a vision, I'm seeing a ghost, or if I'm seeing, maybe I was thinking I was being psychic and I was seeing it was going to be me when I'm old, rocking in a chair, looking out at the ocean.
That's a pretty popular thing
Maybe.
for old people.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think I'm psychic or that I'm just having
I
an
don't know.
imagination?
You know, are these like images you're seeing visually?
Yes, just the same image over and over again. It's always the same image.
And how many times a month does this occur?
Oh, I would say maybe 3 times a month.
3 times every month?
Yeah, like for the last 20 years.
Really? Is it the exact same image, or does it ever change?
Never changes.
Really?
Do thoughts come to you when you visualize this image?
Yes.
What about visualizing it?
Do thoughts come to you when you visualize this image? In other words,
No, it's just, the only thought is, I wonder if that's me, if I'm looking at me.
Well, do you have gray hair?
No, but I'm thinking, I wonder, that's why I'm wondering if I'm psychic, if I'm seeing myself in the future. Like, can I see in the future? And is my future a rocking chair with a view of the ocean?
Is it? I mean, I just have to ask this question. Is it an image, or is it like a video, like it's you can see it rocking, or is it more like a dream sequence?
It's more like I'm in the room with her.
So it's like you transported.
Yeah.
After this, do you like pass out or something? Like how, or do you
No,
know
I just
what
go on about.
happens?
I just go on about my day. I'm pretty used to having it happen to me, so I
Has it
don't really do
happened?
anything different afterwards.
Has it happened around like anybody else?
Mm, yeah, but I haven't told anybody. Like there might be somebody else in the house
Did
when
they
when
like
it
see
happens.
you like pass out or see you just stare like there like?
No, I don't think so. You could ask your partner up there. He's been at my house when it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady's inside, not outside. She's not like on the beach. She's inside the
No,
house, looking out the window.
inside in a rocking chair, all warm. Got like a shawl on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you feel about warm? Do you like to be warm or cold?
Oh yeah, I feel like it better be inside rather than outside in that ocean, that cold ocean.
Well, that says that. So what else do you have in common with this lady? She's got gray hair, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to be warm, you do. Do you have a rocking chair?
No, I don't have any rocking chairs.
Is she
I've
like on
never
her
had
deck?
well,
Is she
once
like
I
on
had
your
a rocking
porch?
chair a long time ago.
Is she like on your porch in the house? Is she like on a porch?
No, it's not a place. No, it's not a place I recognize at all.
Is she on a house? Is she like near a house?
She's inside.
Oh, she's
No,
inside.
Yeah, she's inside.
Really?
it's inside. Yeah, it's
Is
inside
there?
with like a great big picture window that she's looking out that has the ocean.
Is the rocking chair that she's in like the one that you used to have?
No, it's a totally different, like a antique, real sturdy rocking chair.
Okay, now what about what are the items on the wall and stuff? Like, do you see any items or like shelves or anything?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No,
No
all I see is a
paintings,
great
no
big
pictures?
window, just looking out at the ocean.
Does it look like kind of futuristic, like slightly in the future, maybe?
Mm-mm. No, it just looks like any time, you know? It could be any time because I'm not really looking at any other furniture or, what's inside or outside except for the ocean.
Okay. Next, are you like in the chair from a first person perspective, or are you looking like behind the person?
I'm like looking behind the person.
Okay, next time you have this, I want you to look for details and take notes about the details. And then next time on the show, you can call in if you've had it again. And you can tell
Okay,
us
well,
what
the
you've
rate it's
taken.
going, I'll probably have it again at the end of the week, maybe.
So I have just one
Okay.
other question: is what this lady wears? Is it does it give an indication of what time she lived, like the 1700s or the
Yeah, that's a good
like
question.
500s?
No, because it's just like
It's
a,
just
a shawl or a scarf
So that's
around.
time. That's,
Could be any time.
Yeah, that has no periodicity to it.
Mm-mm. But I'll look for the details if it happens again.
Right. And
Yeah, and
take a look
take
at her
notes.
feet,
Yeah,
because the shawl covers what she's wearing, but her feet might have shoes that would be an indication.
Yeah, I usually just see her from the back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just her hair and
But does she have,
what's
like,
on her
long hair?
shoulders.
What's her hairstyle?
It's kind of long, not real long.
Okay.
Well, we'll look forward to your next call.
Yeah, we'll look forward to your next call. We might have
Okay, I'll
one
take
more
notes.
caller. Yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Okay, so you're not sure if I'm psychic or not?
No.
No, not.
We need more
sure.
information
We
about
need
this
more- yeah.
lady.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure and call. What if it happens at 2:00 in the morning? Can I still call then?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was the caller, Cocoa Puff. We had her on the last episode. Can you stay here?
Sure.
I'll be right back. Just talk to the viewers a little bit.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, I keep having to go over here.
So,
Let me know if you get a call.
do any of the viewers have an opinion or a concept or a similar story to this gray-haired woman with a shawl in a rocking chair gazing out the window to the ocean? Has anybody else had a similar experience?
And, because it happens so much, I should have remembered it right away. But I didn't necessarily. So, are you, is Grandpa Doug still doing it with you?
Yes.
Okay, for like 10 more minutes?
Okay, well, I'm back. What were you talking to the viewers? Are you gone?
Oh, we were just talking. I was asking if people had similar experiences to
Okay.
Cocoa Puff with
Well, let's
the
check the chat.
lady in the rocking chair.
Okay, so, I think we're about to have a caller soon. I just got the info. And, yeah, so he should be calling in soon. I think we only have time for one more psychic story and one more caller. So, would you like to review?
Sure.
Okay.
Increase the font.
Oh, actually, we just got a call.
Oh.
Okay, looks like we have a caller here. Hello, this is Captain Archibald Haddock. This is username calling in from, I don't know where, but hello, welcome to the show.
Island, which is not really an island.
Okay.
And haddock's not really a fish.
That's true. Yeah. Haddock is in the weasel family.
It's a weasel. It's a weasel with gills.
I was listening to the show, and it sounds like you have the theme is psychic phenomena.
Yep, we are.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I like to be scared.
Yeah.
I have a little history. It's not super scary, but I have a little history with psychic phenomenon in my family.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom was a psychic. Her name was Jane Anna, and she was an actress and a performer, and she went by Jane Anna Pritchard. And she actually wrote a couple episodes of a show that was all about psychic phenomenon in the 60s, in the late 50s and early 60s, called One Step Beyond. And when I was a kid, I used to hear all about them, but you couldn't find them on TV, and there was no on-demand TV. And my mom is gone now, sadly, but the shows are available online very easily. So the quick Google search, I found a couple episodes she wrote. One of the ones she used to tell me about actually happened to her. Would you like to hear about it?
Sure.
Yes.
It was called Tonight at 12:17. And when she was married to her first husband, Stan, he was also an actor. They were living in a little bungalow in Hollywood. And my mom would wake up with the house shaking at 12:17 every single night for weeks, and the whole house would shake. And then her eyes would pop open, and at first she thought it was an earthquake, but then turns out the house wasn't actually shaking at all. It was just some weird dream that she was having. So she kept telling her husband about it, and he kept saying, "Okay, Jamie, whatever." And about, I don't know how much, 2 or 3 months later, a plane crashed about 2 blocks over, a passenger plane. This was before jets, but it was a big, I think, a twin prop passenger plane. It was carrying a bunch of people, and it crashed not too far away there from where they were, a few blocks away. and she heard it crash because the crash happened at guess what time?
12:17.
12:17. Yep. And so she said, well, this has to go on one step beyond. So she wrote an episode about it. And in the episode, it actually says, this comes to us from Jane Anna Pritchard over there. And it's funny because in the old days, it tells her address. It even says, such and so Fourth Avenue. And it's pretty funny.
Wouldn't see that today, would you?
No, never in a million years. But I got, I inherited all her belongings, and I have a thick sheaf of fan letters from her One Step Beyond episodes. And she wrote another one that I never saw. It was called Murder, and that wasn't something that happened to her. That was just an episode that she wrote. But it was a show about psychic phenomena. I think you guys might like it, actually.
All right, yeah, we'll have to check that out. That is crazy that she predicted.
Anniversary of a Murder, that's what it's called. I just looked it up. 1960. Yeah.
That's paranormal.
That's paranormal, right?
Yeah.
That qualifies.
What about if you're parachuting and everything goes perfectly? Your chute opens, you land on the ground safely. So it was a perfectly normal parachute. Is that paranormal?
No. No, that's a normal para.
Oh, that's normal para. Okay.
That's a really big difference.
Well, you've got a story and a question. Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
Then I won't keep it for too long, but I do have one more question.
Okay.
I used to love the paranormal, and there was a great show called In Search Of that was in the 70s, and they would research all kinds of paranormal things. And one that terrified me that you don't hear much about anymore. It's called let me think of this. Spontaneous combustion. Have you ever heard of this?
Oh, sure. It's when
Spontaneous,
like lights on fire.
Just yes,
Boom.
either bursts into flames completely,
Yeah.
or lights on fire itself. And there's a thing called spontaneous human combustion. That there are a few cases of it. You can actually see the photos. There have been people that were sitting in a chair. They're usually older people, and they just go like that. And all that's left is ash.
So there was no building of heat.
No building of heat.
So they're what do they call it? Kindling temperature? Is that what they call it?
I think so. Yeah, and sometimes their shoes are even untouched. So it's not. It was so hot and quick that it turned them to dust. But their shoes, it wasn't even enough time for their shoes to light on fire. Isn't that amazing?
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Leather or rubber?
That's a good question. These are mostly older 50s, 30s through the 50s, so they're probably leather or patent leather.
Because rubber would melt.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah. I would tell you to Google spontaneous human combustion, but be careful because there's a lot of creepy pictures that come up.
Yeah,
Nothing too gross because it's mostly just ash sitting on a chair.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Both of those stories.
I don't think I'll spontaneously combust anytime soon.
Yeah, I hope not.
I'm too cool to spontaneously human combust. They said super cool people can't do it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So you're air conditioned. You're so cool. You're air conditioned.
I'm so cool that I put air conditioners out of business. So, all right, you guys, keep up the good work. I'm going to keep listening to the show.
All right.
Thank you for coming on the show. You're a really good guest. Bye-bye.
Stay paranormal.
Stay paranormal.
Stay freaky out there.
And chill the room.
Chill the room. And dig deep wells.
Digging deep wells. All right, well, probably time to sign off.
Well, yeah, so
we
sorry.
Places to go and paranormal to experience.
Sorry if this podcast was a little bit short.
Mm-hmm.
There was some busy stuff we had to do.
Yeah.
I gotta stream again. I accidentally clicked stop streaming. But it's still recording. Sorry if this podcast was a little bit short here. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in.
See you next time.
See you next time.
For Digging Deep Wells.
Digging Deep Wells.
Paranormal and Strange Occurrences podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.